Bones snap, faces split, blood stains the dirt. Bull riding is raw, violent, and unforgiving. Cowboys train, sure, but no one is ever truly ready.
Wow.
These are the 10 rides where the Bulls didn't just throw Cowboys off, they turned the arena into a pure nightmare. Let's start with Brady Randolph, who got hung up and nearly crushed before bullfighters dragged him free. It was day 2 of the 2023 PBR Teams Rattler Days, and the place was electric. Randolph gave the crowd what they wanted, 8 full seconds. The buzzer hit and the crowd exploded, but then it turned ugly. His hand stayed caught and he was hung up, helpless beneath centerfold, who thrashed him across the dirt. The bull didn't care that the ride was over. Hooves hammered down, every kick close to crushing him for good. The whole arena froze, but the bullfighters didn't. They threw themselves in, risking it all, dragging him free from death's grip. Blood, dirt, fear, it was chaos. Without them, Randolph wouldn't have walked out of that arena. Next up is Ben Jones, who rode Knothead for 8 seconds, but walked away with broken ribs and a concussion instead of glory. Ben Jones made the ride till the end, 8 full seconds on Knothead at the 2014 PBR Built Ford Tough Series. The crowd roared, but the victory was a lie. Inside he was breaking. His body gave out the second the buzzer hit. He tried to stand, but the concussion dropped him hard. Trainers rushed in, holding him up as the cheers turned uneasy. You can hit the full 8 seconds, and the bull still walks away like the real winner. Jones wasn't proud of himself. He staggered out broken, barely holding himself together. The ride would replay in highlights, but the pain stayed long after the cameras turned away. You think that was devastating? Watch Shorty Gorham take Hustle Up's hoof straight to the face. Hustle Up came out wild from the chute and threw a kick that smashed into Shorty Gorham's face. The sound cracked through the arena, sharp and ugly. The crowd gasped, hands flying over mouths. Most riders would have stayed down, not Shorty. Blood filled his mouth, head ringing like a bell, but he still stood tall. That's who he was. He lived for the wrecks, the chaos, the danger most men would run from. Pain was part of the deal for him.
Oh boy, Shorty took one right there from Hustle Up.
But in this sport, fear fades, pain burns, and passion keeps riders climbing back on. Shorty too shook it off, waved to the crowd, and by the next event, he was back in the chute. And just when you think it can't get worse, Pistol Robinson hits the dirt and snaps both legs in one brutal fall. Pistol Robinson hit the dirt and didn't get back up. The Bull Carrillo cartel crushed him beneath its weight during the 2012 PBR season opener on January 1st, 2012. Not one. Both his legs snapped on impact, clean breaks. The crowd knew it instantly. No cheers this time, just silence and dust as medics rushed in. Robinson couldn't move. He couldn't wave. Couldn't stand, couldn't do a damn thing. They carried him out. A broken cowboy in the arms of others. That's bull riding. One second you're chasing points, the next you're wondering if you'll ever walk again.
Pistol Robinson.
Doctors would later talk about surgery, screws, and a long recovery, but none of that erased the moment. He didn't just lose a ride that night, he lost the swagger, the steel, the future he thought he had, replaced with months of pain and doubt that never really leave. Next up is Chase Outlaw, tossed like a frisbee and slammed into the dirt hard. Chase Outlaw didn't just fall, he flew. It happened on March 5th, 2021 during the Oklahoma City 15-15 bucking battle. facing off against Night Sweats. The bull ripped him off and hurled him like a sack of meat across the dirt. His body slammed so hard, the crowd winced. It sounded like a car wreck hitting the ground. Dust flew, silence followed. That's the kind of hit, like that shakes you to the bone. Outlaw wasn't riding anymore. He was just trying to breathe. Bulls don't just buck, they launch, they smash, they remind you who's in charge.
Outlaw with prejudice.
And this bull's got some stuff to him right around the corner. And Outlaw, a guy that's kind of nursing a sword.
Outlaw learned that the hard way. He didn't walk off proud. He crawled out, beat up, lucky to still have bones holding him together. Then comes Zachary Nagel, a ride that ended with a bull's horn ripping his neck and leaving him inches from death. Zachary Nagel thought he had the bull figured out. He didn't. On Saturday, February 7th, 2025, at the Conley Invitational Bull Riding, he climbed on Brazen Beauty, but the ride ended in nightmare. The horn slipped under his helmet and ripped into his neck. Blood everywhere, the artery cut clean. He felt it, breath getting short, vision going black. He thought it was over, right there in the dirt. The bull's horn had sliced through with deadly precision, and every second after that felt like his last. On the way to the hospital, he said he could feel himself dying, slipping in and out. Doctors later confirmed he lost 2 gallons of blood. They cut him open, patched the artery, and somehow kept him alive. Just when you think it can't get darker, Mason Lowe's ride in Denver ends with a fatal blow that stunned the rodeo world. Mason Lowe was only 25, strong, respected, fearless. In the 2019 National Western Stock Show, he was riding a bull named Hard Times. He gave the crowd 8 seconds of fight. Then the bull's hoof crushed his chest. The hit was brutal. It tore his heart valve and ripped his aorta. No one could save him, not the bullfighters, not the doctors, and it ended right there. The crowd froze, watching a young Cowboy's life slip away. Mason gave everything to the sport, and the sport took everything back in a blink. His name carried weight before that night, but after that, it carried a legacy. As if blood and bruises weren't enough, Sandro Batista got launched by Red Demon straight into the steel. It all happened on Friday, July 28th, 2023, during the PBR Camping World Team Series event. The bull came out furious, tossing Batista off with violent power. He didn't just fall, he was hurled across the arena and smashed against the steel fencing. The sound cracked through the crowd, hard and brutal. Oh. You could hear the silence settle over the crowd. No cheers, no noise, just the weight of what they saw. He was shaken, gasping, trying to pull himself together. Wrecks like that aren't common, but when they come, they leave scars you don't shake off.
And strong this bull is, and just catapults Batista into a not-so-sensitive land.
The image of Batista smashed into cold iron. That's the kind of thing fans and riders carry with them. Then there's JB Mooney, whose wreck was so bad doctors had to hold his neck together with steel. Mooney knew the game, pain was part of it, but Arctic Assassin, that bull ended it all. It happened on September 6, 2023 at the Extreme Bulls event. He bucked Mooney hard, and when he hit the ground, his neck took the full blow. No time to think, just white-hot pain ripping down his spine. He tried to push up, but his arms gave out. Breath came short, body refusing to move the way it should. Doctors opened him up and held him together with rods, plates, and screws, like patching broken steel. They told him the truth straight. His neck was done. One more fall, one more hit to the head, and it wouldn't just be his career on the line, it'd be his life. And finally, Silvano Alves is proof that even champions can be knocked out cold. Silvano Alves looked solid, champion rider, calm as ever, locked in on Cochise. But then, on January 8th, 2016, during the PBR 1515 bucking battle, everything changed. Silvano went limp before he even hit the dirt. The crowd's roar cut to silence in an instant, seeing a rider like Silvano, a man with titles stacked behind his name, lying there helpless. It shook everyone. Bulls don't care who you are. One bad move, one wrong angle, and you're done.
Over and over in very fast succession, and you know, he just hits wrong, and then you see that.
For Silvano, that night wasn't about his records. It was about survival. He was a champion. But on that ride, Cochise reminded him and the whole arena that nobody is safe, not even the best. Which wreck hit you hardest? Was there one that still sticks in your gut? Or did we leave out a ride that should have made the cut? Throw it in the comments. And if this kind of grit keeps you coming back, hit that like, smash subscribe, and we'll keep bringing the dirt, the danger, and the stories that don't flinch.